Hello and welcome to Treasure in Every Verse. I'm your host, author and Bible teacher Kevin Madison. Thank you for joining us today. Okay, friends, we're back. And the last time we were here, we were talking about the tribulation. We were getting ready to wrap up on the false prophet. But in between wrapping up the false prophet, what I wanted to do is sort of give you an overview on the timeline and then wrap up today with the false prophet. I'm hoping we get there because we sort of got into our study right here on the timeline of the events that's going to be taking place. Some before the tribulations and these right here, and then inside the tribulation. And then we're going to talk a little bit about what's going to happen here. So I think, well, let's wrap up the false prophet first, because what's going to happen is when I finish this, I do want to talk about the millennium and this age right here, because God actually gives us some detail. He gives a lot of detail here. He gives some detail on what's going to happen there. And I do want to share that with you so that you can understand when God is finished with what he's doing, the reason behind why God is doing what he did, doing what he did. Yeah, I said that properly. Look, what you have to realize with God. So with God, there is no such thing as time. You understand that? With God, there's no such thing as time. Time only exists in the physical realm. Time only exists here. So this is the heavens, right? This is spirit, and this is physical. Where does time exist? The only place time exists is right here. Where's God? God is actually, and for those of you who haven't been with us for a while and you're just starting to watch, this may be a little confusing to you, but eventually you'll see it, or you can go back to some of the older videos. Where's God? God is here in a place called heaven. You say, well, what in the world is this heavens here? Well, this is the one that has three parts. Two, and this third part, part one. Remember, Paul said in 2 Corinthians that he went up to the third heaven. Where did Paul go? Paul came right here. Where's the man Jesus Christ? The man Jesus Christ is here. Where is God? God is here. You say, wait a minute. I thought Jesus Christ is God. He is, friends. He is. Then how in the world can God be in the third heaven and up here? Folks, God is everywhere. Everywhere. Now, if you're going to ask me about the visible part of the invisible God, Jesus, the Bible says he's in the third heaven, but you need to understand something. Jesus is also everywhere, the visible part of God. Listen, people. Look, you can't think of Jesus Christ like you think of a normal human. There's nothing normal about him. Okay? He came into humanity, or the physical part of his creation, for a very, very minute period of time. He was alive before then. He will forever be alive after. Everything in this all creation, in his creation, depends upon him. Jesus is God. Where can God be? Everywhere at one time. The Bible says he inhabits eternity. So when God looks at time, okay, so God is sitting, I need to explain just a little bit. So when God looks at time, God looks down. So God looks down on time. How do he see it? He sees the end and he sees the beginning. When do he see it? He see it at all times. Do you understand that? God sees the beginning and the end, and anything else that, and there's nothing that exists outside of these two bookends, right? Begin and end. God sees it all at the exact same time. He exists in it all at the exact same time. Now, I'm about to say something that may confuse you just a little bit, but if you get this part about God, what I'm about to say should only really enhance and make sense to you. This God that I'm talking about has a name. The name of the God that I'm talking about, that he gave himself, is Jesus. You get that? He says, I came in my Father's name. Well, who's his Father? The Spirit that lives inside of him. So Jesus Christ, the man, can do every single thing that the Spirit of God can do. There is nothing, absolutely nothing, that the Spirit of God can do. If the Spirit of God decides to forever be invisible, he'll be invisible. Jesus Christ can do the same. If the Spirit of God wants to live right here in the beginning by himself, he can do, Jesus can do the same. Jesus Christ can show up in person, visible, right here, right now, at my house, at your house, and at everybody else's house in the whole entire universe, including the angels individually, if that's what he decides to do. Jesus was restricted when he came to earth as a man, in that he can only be in one place at one time. After the cross, after the resurrection, Jesus simply went right back to doing what he was doing before. What was that? Being everywhere at one time. He's God, friends. Okay, that's not my topic. Anyhow, so let's go look, find it. Wrap up the false prophet. And then we're going to come right back into this because I do want to knock out the great tribulation. That's some interesting stuff that Jesus said, as well as John. And let's take a look at that. All right. So let's go look at the false prophet. We were talking about he came from the earth. So we're going to pick up here on the Abrahamic covenant. So what are we talking about, this Abrahamic covenant? So the Bible says that this false prophet, that he came out of the earth, right? Let me get there. He was talking about where this guy came from. Wow, I didn't realize it was that far back. Could have went just to the Bible, huh? Okay, yeah, here. Wow, didn't realize it was that far back. Sorry about that. Okay, so The Bible says that this guy comes out of the earth. Then I saw another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb and spoke like a dragon. So we seen that. And we explained the earth in Genesis chapter 1. And now we're coming here, and God gives us another hint at the earth and what that meaning behind that term earth means in the Abrahamic covenant. And I showed you last time that it has represented three different people, the covenant that he gave to Abraham. One being the dust or uh, the earthly seed being none other than Israel. Then God had a spiritual promise or heavenly, however you want to say it, seed. And that heavenly seed happens to be the church. Now, what's the difference? Israel will always have a place here on the earth. God is going to rule from a nation in eternity past, in this place right here. Let's go. We're in Revelation, so it should be a little short journey over to where we're going.